Hello again, and welcome to Kengavero. This is an old vicarage that these days operates as a restaurant. It's located in the city of Mikkeli in southern Finland. And I should mention that there are also some other entrepreneurs in this area, for example gift shops, art galleries and such. Right from the gate, as it were, it's clear that they know how to grow beautiful dahlias. And there seems to be some tomatoes, also, even though still green, grown there as well. Very innovative combination. Nice, I think. And very nice is this whole resting place situation here too. Notice how the color of the bench perfectly matches the color of the house at the background. It's always nice to see that the bumblebees approve too. It's lovely that they can feast on these flowers here too. As one gets closer, one cannot help to notice the typical challenge with these older buildings, and that is that no matter how much you try to maintain them, it seems they could always do with a fresh coat of paint. So what I try to do is sort of look past that type of details and focus on the beautiful things here, which are plenty nonetheless. Like here, we have this very cute and I'd say quite artistic take on flower pot arrangement. It's like the plants have taken over the coffee area. The facade garden here is quite large, which is of course very well in keeping with the size of the vicarage. But although the garden here is quite formal, all the plantings I would say are quite modern in style, which I like because it's sort of a way to bring the place to modern ages, while also at the same time respecting the old structure of the garden. In a way, I think it's like one respects what has been proven good within the history and therefore wants to preserve that, but doesn't want to get too caught up in it and feels the freedom to change things like plant choices. On the other side of the front garden, they have an almost identical resting place arrangement going on, with lots of dahlias and a lovely pink bench, and of course the archway there too. And there's another bumblebee. They really seem to love these dahlias, and who would not? The shades of these are absolutely gorgeous. And style-wise, the plant choices here look exactly the same as in the first one, but they have made some differences here too, which I think it's very clever, because this way you get to have more varieties without losing the continuity. And here's a view towards the front of the house. It's framed in very beautiful way with these lovely light yellow daylilies, and I believe there have been peonies blooming here too, somewhat earlier. Here's this quite big round-shaped gravel pathway that I'm now walking on. I think this is a quite traditional feature whenever approaching these type of grand houses. It sort of gives the house the space it needs in front of it when you approach to it. And just as a little side note, it's a very hot day today. Indeed, we believe there may be some thunderstorms coming too a bit later. And this place is loaded with other visitors too, so I do my best not to get them into these pictures here, since I don't find it very relaxing to watch people buzzing about in these garden tour videos. Anyways, now we head to the back gardens of this vicarage. This is a very luscious area with loads of different type of plantings, so this should be interesting. At the background there's a lovely little farmhouse utility building, I would call it, perhaps for storing hay or something in the past. And here's a very cute cottagey type of a planting arrangement with daylilies and muskmallow. Very beautiful color combination. They are almost the same height too, these plants, so perfect that way too. I'm not sure what that yellow one there is, but it's, well, something very traditional, I know that. Okay, I looked it up. I think it's a dotted loosestrife. There are several of these old farmhouse type utility buildings here that are of course now in different use, but I really like it how they have sort of created them in such a way that they form this sort of their own type of village feel here, like a little village within the vicarage. Indeed, all these other buildings are located on the other side of this gravel pathway, and the vicarage side is reserved for other things. So yeah, this is a very nice sort of clear structural choice that's been made here. Isn't this just the most idyllic little cottage garden here, tucked? And there's an old toilet building at the back there. I notice it from the heart shape on the door. That's sort of a sign what you have there. I'm sure it's not in use anymore, but before water closets or toilets, that was something that people used to do their business. About these lovely, I would say lilac colored flowers, again I'm not sure, but the flower shape looks a bit like a ragged robin, but not sure on that one. They look very beautiful though. On the other side of this gravel pathway, I think is the main attraction of this place. It's right behind this huge, very well taken care of apple trees and orchard area. There, you can see it, the sea of flowers in front of us, by the lake of course. Let's go and explore that next. On this side too, they've kept the structure of the place very clear indeed. There seems to be this sort of quite strict grid pattern here for all different functions. And the scale of this, I don't know what I should call it, flower bed, is quite huge, as you can see. It seems like it just goes on and on. I think I'll just dive in to the flower bed from one of these small pathways leading in. These heartleaf oxeyes seem like they are just in their peak at the moment, looking absolutely gorgeous. There are also lots of mallows and geraniums here. And these yellow bursts of color are goldenrods, I believe. Whoa, at this point one feels like one gets totally sunken in to this flower bed. It's absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I'm in a maze of flowers. I wonder if they have had any sort of design when doing this, or if they have just decided to, throw whatever they want in here and make you feel like you could get lost within the flowers. In reality though, there's no risk of getting lost here since they have these nice, very clear pathways going around within the flower bed. So those will guide you to the edges or into the middle, depending on where you want to head next. I'll head to this lakefront edge now, so that you can get a picture of the boundaries of this flower bed from this angle too. Indeed, the flower bed, at least at this time of year, is so high that the rest of the garden is completely hidden behind it. But what we can see is a glimpse towards the house up on the hill there. Indeed, I think this makes the most gorgeous view. Think if you would paint this, for example. Glorious, glorious painting it would be. I wonder if this whole big flower bed labyrinth is in fact a perfect rectangle. At least looking at it from these outskirts, it looks like it could be. In any case, the size of it is quite impressive, in my opinion. Very beautiful indeed. I think I'll take again another path to head back in. And as you can see, there have been other flowers, for example peonies, blooming here earlier this summer. In fact, it would be nice to come back here the next summer, for example, to see how this place looks when there are other, without no doubt also gorgeous flowers blooming here. I don't have these heartleaf ox eyes blooming in my own garden, but after this visit I'm sure I will be contemplating on whether to add these to my own garden too, since these do look very impressive here. I have always thought that these are a bit too rough looking for my taste, but I'm starting to change my mind here. And here's some eye candy for anyone who loves these creamy whites and pinks. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but the light pink or white ones are called common soapwort, and the other ones are mallows, either musk mallows or some other mallow type. Talking about the mallows in this garden, that very high one I believe is a Thuringian mallow. So yeah, there are several mallow types probably growing mixed here. But those can be a bit difficult to differentiate from each other, since the flowers can look very much the same. It's the plant height that tells you more, and the leaves can also be easier to tell apart. Anyway, I'll continue investigating the labyrinth soon, But let's take a look at the house from this angle too, the orchard side of things. It's looking quite simple, the design here, but very pleasing. Indeed, I think it's very good that not everything is sort of wild and crazy here, but there are also these calmer areas to sort of balance this abundance of the flower beds on the other side. The funny thing about this sort of very strict grid pattern is that it could easily feel very formal and sort of scrutinizing and I don't know, somehow controlling the whole place. But here I don't get that sort of vibe. Quite the contrary, I think the grid pattern works very well, because it sort of keeps all this abundance within clear boundaries without still feeling like it's restricting it in any way. The wildness simply is kept at some sort of bay. And here I think there's a sort of nice shift within this grid pattern, since now we have a great grand flowerbed area on the left side by the orchard area. So those are side by side now, up there, leading towards the house. And on the other side, there's this kitchen garden area, I would say. It is made from these raised beds that quite nicely lift the plantings higher up to sort of match the height of the flower beds right beside it. Although I don't know if that has been the idea in their head when designing this, but that is how I see this as a visitor, that this is a clever idea to lift these up too. The design within this raised bed area is a bit more complex though than just, for example, a simple grid pattern with rectangular boxes. In this eye-catcher flower bed in the center, they have a mix of different type of cornflowers. I didn't know that these also come with so many different type of colors. It's quite a simple and elegant bouquet to have. You don't really need any other varieties here than these. I decided to come back to the outskirts again and head in from here, because that may give a better understanding of the complexity of this structure. There are several sort of rings here. The outer ring and then these more centralized rings made from these raised beds. I don't know how you feel about this, but I think the structure here is very nice. It's complex enough to be very interesting just on its own, even without the plants. In winter time, I believe it gives a nice structure when everything has died down. Indeed, if you have the space, I think this would be something to consider for copying in some sort of a suitable way to your plot. Indeed, there are so many raised beds here in quite large scale that you could easily zone them for different types of plants, climbers, even shrubs like berry bushes or such. Okay, I've started to head towards the house again. I'm just now walking the gravel pathway that goes between the flowerbed area on the right side and the orchard area on the left. This flowerbed area also seems to have these hidden pathways in between the flowers. So if you walk there, you can once again become immersed within the flowers. I wonder if the term flower therapy actually comes from that idea, that you can get flower therapy if you go and get immersed within the flowers. That would certainly be logical, I think. The healing power of flowers affecting you the best when you are surrounded by them from all sides. Although, of course, it might be nice to have a nice seating area in the middle of those flowers, like they have here on the orchard side. Oh well, that should be easy enough to carry and place within those flowerbed labyrinths. In fact, let's play a little. If you just follow me, I think I may have the perfect place where I would want to carry that table set to. Just on the right here, soon as we turn around and look into this flowerbed area here. Somewhere in the middle of this one might get both the flower therapy and also have a view towards the lake. So yes, this might be just the place. We could make a little round shaped circle area in the middle, of course, and place that table and chairs there. The sun is agreeing with us too. she decided to come out to grace us with our plants. Now we have almost reached the vicarage again, up on the hill there. This isn't a very steep hill, but there is a little climb up there, starting from the lakefront towards the backside of the vicarage. As I mentioned at the beginning of this garden tour, the vicarage today operates as a restaurant, and I believe they are having some of the produce from this garden served within the restaurant menu. So they get these fresh ingredients straight from the garden to the table. Truly fresh and tasty food. In fact, the restaurant was fully packed today when we arrived here, so we didn't even try to fit ourselves in the restaurant today. And just in case you wonder why there's no one eating outside on such a lovely summer day, the weather is simply now very hot. So the idea of having a warm meal in this heat is probably not very tempting for most of the guests. They prefer to stay within the well-cooled indoor spaces. This must have been a gorgeous place to live in when the house was still in the use of a vicarage, and there was actually a priest family living here, probably with some servants and staff of course, but to have this in private use, one can only imagine the lovely summers they must have had here. From back there's a little pathway leading back in front of the house, but I'm gonna just turn around here and look a little more to the architecture of this place. Again, another very beautifully decorated old wooden building, this one. Look at all the details they have made. Those are all made from wood. And here's a view from the terrace up here. Of course, there's a lovely view from here towards the lake. Lovely. Simply a lovely place under the sun, this one too. Thank you very much for joining me in this garden tour. If you have liked this video, please consider subscribing the channel. It's completely free, and if you also click the notifications bell, you will be directly notified whenever I've posted a new video. Thank you very much for watching this one, and bye for now.